everybody. Welcome to Saint Misbehaving, the podcast about saints from people who are not. I am your host, Matthew Shadorn, and I am joined, as always, by my chief researcher who's convinced herself she's overqualified for this job, Anna Domini. Anna, how are you doing today?
I'm very well, thanks. I am gainfully employed, so, that does make me more qualified than you at this stage, I think.
I don't see how that translates. I mean, are you gainfully employed as a theological researcher?
No.
To
be fair.
And just to be clear, no one else has even attempted to employ you as a theological researcher. Is that correct?
I believe not. Yeah, that is
okay.
correct.
All right. And I would also like to point out that you're not the first person I asked to do this.
Approach. Or even the second, from my understanding.
I guess technically I approached myself first to be the researcher. And then
and then you were like, I am overqualified for this.
Overqualified. It's just that I'm better qualified at other things.
Right, okay.
But how are you doing today, Anna?
Well, feeling very confident in myself.
You should.
For sure. Yeah, I'm all right today.
So you're doing well then?
I'm doing okay. The sun is shining. That's always nice.
Doesn't hurt.
I'm still, there's still a pandemic and a war, so that's fun. Yeah, but blue skies. So on balance, okay.
Well, have you done anything saintly or experienced anything miraculous lately?
I did something fairly saintly in that I went to church the other day.
Really?
Which is wild. Yeah. Well, so what happened was
just popped in to be like, "You're living a lie, you people, fools! You're all fools."
I just thought I'd go in and plug the podcast and then leave. As you know, I used to work for Daily Info, which is a local company that promotes everything going on in Oxford. It's very good, and I'm still on their list of reviewers. And they had a request to review a concert in a church, and I was like, if no one else wants to go, I'll do it, because I know how. Like the person who coordinates the reviews is now in the position that I used to be in, and I know how much of a nightmare it is when people are really desperate for you to send someone and no one is interested in that thing, and it's really difficult to say, sorry, your thing sounds rubbish, no one wants to go.
Ooh, sorry, maybe try harder next time.
Yeah, try making it good.
Hey, here's just an open criticism. Just you can take this if you want. Just what if it was good? Huh? Maybe try that next time. Huh?
Yeah. The thing is, so it was a 3-hour long performance of, it's called the Johannes Passion. So it's Bach setting the Gospel of John to music for 3 hours in German. And when I said yes, I'll do it.
Only
if no
3
one else
hours.
Wants to,
Jeez.
Yeah. When I said I'll do it if no one else wants to, I did not realize it was 3 hours.
Just is it also very German? Like there will be no breaks.
No, there was a break, to be fair, but the church was absolutely Baltic. They had radiators, but they didn't put them on. And I was in so many layers. So anyway, so I said, yeah, I'll go. And then she was like, great, no one else has said yes, so you're going. And it was like, oh God. So yeah, I sat through 3 hours of German classical music in a very freezing church for the sake of promoting the arts and doing good for my community, I guess. And I wrote them a very nice review, despite the fact that I don't know very much about classical music. I mean, again, the subject matter I was quite familiar with, but it's not really my cup of tea, and that's what I dedicated my Saturday evening to.
Are you familiar with the subject matter in German?
No, but
at any point where you're just
gospel.
Yeah, or well, they're covering the Book of John. It's like, did they leave in the Sermon on the Mount? I don't know. I couldn't tell.
Unfortunately, so John's gospel is the most anti-Semitic one. He had a real problem with Jews.
And in German, you say?
Yeah, exactly. So it was a bit grating on that. So I think in some translations they say the rabble or the crowd, and in John it's just no, it's the Jews. Let's pin it on the Jews. So that's a bit sort of jarring.
John, can we at least edit out the word dirty before Jews?
Oh gosh. I think you might have to edit that out, the whole thing. Yeah, so they didn't really address that in the program, and I didn't say that in the review. I wasn't they didn't go into the analysis of why
the headline of the review wasn't "Anti-Semitic Church puts on good program."
No, so that was awkward. But no, they had basically the whole program. It was sort of you had to follow it along because they had the German lyrics and then the English translation.
Oh, okay.
So you were listening and reading at the same time. So it was more just cold reading with background music.
It's
as an event.
The world's worst silent film.
Yeah, I'd say it was a very improving activity, expanding my knowledge of German, because I might actually get to learn German in my new job.
Really?
Yeah, because a lot of the fellows are German and the universities that they correspond with are based in Germany. So, but I'm sure it's one of those things where like I'll be so bad at it that everyone will probably be like, let's just speak in English.
It's like, we all speak perfect English. You do not have to go through this pathetic theater.
This is the problem with learning a new language, is that like I did GCSE French and we went to Paris, and the Parisians just had no time for our attempts at speaking French.
Like, that's the thing I found in France, is unless you're like way out in the country, or you're talking to somebody who's just really old and probably still speaks English but doesn't have time for your young person bullshit. Everybody there speaks English, and it's not an issue. And then I feel bad. Like, I feel like an ugly American, because I'm just like, Alice is always
you are, but...
Yeah, well, in so many ways. But like, Alice will go up to people and start kind of talking in her pidgin French, like her bits of French, and I'll just come up and be like, howdy, y'all. Can I get me a croissant?
That's a lovely bistro you got there, but what if it had golden arches over it?
You guys, wait, so you have croissants, but you don't have sandwiches? Well, this is kind of bullshit.
Oh, wow. But anyway, how about you, Matthew? Have you done anything saintly or had something miraculous happen to you?
Well, I'm glad you've asked, Anna.
I thought you'd never ask.
I was like, Jesus Christ, when's this story about this Jew-hating church going to end?
Wow.
Anyway, I'm glad you made it out with your life. Yeah. I want to issue a bit of a mea culpa.
Oh, okay.
An apology, an admission
to
of
me,
wrongdoing.
Or to our listeners?
Not to you. No, shut up. Never to you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
I want to beg for forgiveness to the fine people of Finland. A couple of episodes back, during our Saint Siegfried episode, I did my definitive power rankings of Scandinavian nations, and I put Finland at the bottom. And then I found out that Finland is like the third most popular country for downloading this podcast. So it's like 40%.
Wow.
The UK, it's like 40% the US, and then it's like 2% Finland. It's a big drop off, but they are third on the list.
Still number 3.
They're still number 3 on the list.
Wow.
So I would like to issue a very heartfelt apology to the 2% of our loyal listeners who I maligned.
Well, they're probably not listening anymore, are
they?
Yeah,
it's like, this might fall on deaf ears.
Yeah.
If you have a Finnish friend and you were like, we used to like to listen to this, and then he was shitting on Finland, and I would like to apologize to Finland. They seem like a fine nation of wonderful people who enjoy quality comedy, and I hope that this hasn't driven an irrevocable wedge between ourselves and the fine Finnish people. I'm sure it's a great country, and I'm sorry. I made a snap judgment based on low information. As I said, I've never been to Finland. If you want to send me a ticket, send us both a ticket.
You'll have to go on like a diplomatic visit now.
Yeah, we will. I will apologize directly to your head of state.
And the head of the Church of Finland.
And the head of the Church of Finland. Is there a Church of Finland, you think?
No, I think they're secular.
Yeah.
But there's still a church in Finland.
Yeah. So your president or your prime minister or your king? Honestly, I should look more into Finland.
Wow, this heartfelt apology is sounding less and less heartfelt by the second.
It went off there. I should have stopped talking. I should have just stopped it. I'm sorry. And I
want to issue my heartfelt apology to the smelliest people on earth.
No, that's not what I just, I'm sorry.
It sounded like.
I didn't come in here with a lot of information about Finland, and I apologize for that. But I would like to apologize for.
You're saying your transgression was ignorance.
Right.
And in your apology, you are displaying further ignorance.
I am, yes. My position is evolving. I've been doing a lot of reading. Well, I'm planning on doing a lot of reading.
Anything that's available for free on the internet.
Yeah. And so tune into our new side podcast, Finn Misbehavin', where we talk about history.
Surely Saint Misbehave Finn. Come on.
No, there you go. All right. Yeah. See, there you go. Ain't misbehave.
Well, there were some others.
Finn.
I think we're going to do Saint Eric at some point soon in the future. So, yeah, if you do have Finnish friends and you're trying to persuade them to come back, we will be a lot more respectful of Finland in that episode, maybe. No refunds, but
you can also, you know what? You can go to Cafe Press and get our new T-shirts. We respect Finland.
Oh, gosh.
So anyways, I just want to apologize to Finland because I didn't realize that you guys were fans of ours, and I reciprocate that back to you. So thank you, Finland. Anyways.
So you're going to do some kind of saintly penance? Have you been sleeping on the floor for the last week?
Sure.
Eating only bread? Eating no meat, to
I've
be
cut
fair.
out, I cut down on coffee, but that's mostly because I had a dull, persistent headache for weeks. And I was like, maybe I should try to figure out what's going on with this.
Wow.
So it's either that or I'm having a very slow stroke. So
Okay, excellent.
anyways, Anna, today is March 13th, 2022. Who is today's saint?
Well, as you probably anticipated, I am looking forward a few days to the 17th of March, because that is my mum's birthday. No, do you know what the 17th of March is? I reckon you could guess this one.
Is it St. Patrick's Day?
It is St. Patrick's Day. Please don't try and do an Irish accent.
What are we going to do now for our show in Dublin?
Well,
I guess we'll cross that bridge when we come to it.
I mean, there's enough on St. Patrick that we could probably do a special bonus. I mean, how many of our listeners are in Ireland right now?
I don't know. Well, not as many as are in Finland, that's for sure.
Yeah, exactly. So we should concentrate on our Finnish content.
And you know what? Ireland can go fuck itself.
Oh, wow, okay.
Cut to 2 weeks from now. I would like to apologize to the people.
Very good, yes.
But anyways, so...
We could do another Irish saint. We could do St. Columba.
That's true. There's lots
who
of...
I found out this week is not a woman.
Oh, that is surprising.
Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, St. Patrick.
St. Patrick. Go ahead. Knock it out. There you go. Here we go. Ready? We're all ready. We're all set. Let's go.
Well, he's one of the world's most popular saints, according to
possibly,
one of my
yeah, the most famous saint.
sources. Yeah.
You know, that isn't just like the name of a place.
Well, interestingly enough, like, you know, we had Valentine's Day, and I'd say Valentine's Day is probably bigger than St. Patrick's Day, but we've got a lot more info on Patrick than Valentine.
Yeah, but nobody calls it Patrick Day, but people call it Valentine's Day. So people might not realize it has something to do with a saint.
Oh, okay. Whereas this one, it's just much more linked.
It's just a day for celebrating all the great Patricks in our lives.
Swayze, from your favorite film.
Of course, that's true. Our friend Ed Patrick, doctor and comedian and author.
Yes. But are you saying that so he promotes us in one of his things now?
No, that's fine. I'm just saying.
Okay.
He's a good guy. I talked to him the other day. Nice guy.
Excellent.
Getting married, you know.
Oh yeah, I did see he got engaged. Didn't get an invite though.
Well, he hasn't scheduled it yet or whatever.
Well, that's what he's told you anyway.
Maybe.
Anywho, so Patrick was born somewhere in Roman Britain at some time.
Great. This is how we're starting out?
Yeah.
Vaguely Britain, vaguely... Yeah. Do we have... I mean, it must be some vague idea.
So his autobiography provides no...
Patrick on Patrick?
I think it's called The Confession.
Oh.
Basically, I think he uses a language or something like that can make it no more specific. Or, you know, a vernacular.
Oh, okay.
That can date no more specifically than the 5th century, generally.
Oh, okay.
So, like, some sources wanted to put an exact date on it, but that's more from a kind of religious sort of wanting to make the tale sound more historical than it actually is kind of place.
They're trying to add details after the fact to make it seem more legit.
For sure.
But he was a real person, right?
He was, and he wrote this confession, and...
The world's first tell-all. Some juicy deets.
Yeah, I'm fairly sure he was a real person. There are, like, lots of historians working on him, but interestingly, he's revered as the first evangelist to Ireland, but he probably wasn't, because there was this other guy...
Is he like the first evangelist that lived? Like the first few who went...
And ever came back, yeah.
Like, did you hear about that story a couple years ago about some asshole who's like, there's this tribe that doesn't like to be bothered, so I'm going to bring them the word of Christ. And then he was brutally murdered.
Yeah.
And then everybody was like, what did you think was going to happen?
Yeah.
And I think some people were like, well, what a tragedy. This like Christian soldier, and everybody else was like, no, he's a fucking asshole. Paternalistic dick. He's like, he got what he gets. You know, it's like, anyways.
Basically, so the guy went to Ireland before him called Palladius. And he also did some evangelizing and stuff. But Patrick was more popular. And basically, over the course of time, all the legends about Palladius have been like subsumed into Patrick's legends as well. To the point where this is one of the issues with dating Patrick is that...
He's got commitment issues?
No, as in like when he was born and stuff. So like there's a 5th century date that's given for his arrival in Ireland as 432. But that was to try and push him basically to much sort of later than Palladius so that they're not like overlapping.
And yeah, I see what you're saying.
To minimize Palladius's contribution. So really it should be Palladius's day is what I'm saying.
So it's like, is Palladius a woman? Is that why his contributions questions were all erased, or
yeah, maybe.
a person of color, possibly.
Wow. I mean,
hey,
we know something about them, so they're probably not a woman or a person of color.
I was gonna say, just like I've studied history before, and this who's the lady who like discovered DNA, and then Crick and Watson were like, actually we discovered DNA, thank you.
I don't know.
Oh, I forget what her name is.
If you're gonna use her as an example, you should probably know her name. It's like Marie Curie was asked, what's it like to be married to a genius? And she said, ask my husband. Very good.
I was Googling woman who discovered DNA, and when you type in woman who, Google guesses woman who sells farts.
Wow. People really want to find her.
Rosalind Franklin. So is this like Rosalind Franklin, the lady who discovered DNA?
Wow. Matthew, you're such a great feminist that you know eminent female scientists.
Well, my wife is an eminent female scientist.
Oh, that's true. So you know at least two.
Yeah. But yeah, Rosalind Franklin, she, then Crick and Watson. Anyways, whatever. I have to cut this whole thing out.
Yeah, it was, no. I think it's good. But anyway, we haven't got very far in the story.
All right, let's go.
There's a lot to get through. So his birthplace is not known with any certainty. Some traditions place it in England. One identifying it as Glanaventa, which is modern-day Ravenglass in Cumbria. Other suggestions...
modern-day Ravenglass in Cumbria. Yes, we all know where that is.
Some historians say it's near Carlisle. Others argue that it's a bit further east of Carlisle on Hadrian's Wall. There have also been claims for Scotland and Wales. Somewhere in Roman Britain is as specific as we can get, sometime in the 5th century.
Fine.
But we know his father was called Calpurnius, and he's described as a decurion, which is a senator and tax collector of an unspecified Roman British city.
Okay.
And his grandfather was called Petitus or Petitus, and he was a priest. He was a priest from somewhere called Bonaven, Tabernia. But Patrick's confession says he wasn't an active believer. Mm-hmm.
Was he a priest, like a Roman priest, or like a Catholic priest, or a Christian priest?
Unclear, I'm afraid. Doesn't say. But I think the implication is Christian, because the next sentence is, Patrick's confession says he was not an active believer in his youth. So, yeah, that implies that in contrast to his grandfather.
I see.
You see?
So after he's born.
We don't know much about his childhood, but according to his confession, at the age of around 14 or 16, he was captured by a group of Irish pirates.
Irish pirates?
Yeah, from his family's villa, which is like...
Wait,
no! They broke into his enormous house and took him away.
They were doing pirate raids on a villa. Was the villa like on a ship? Was it like a floating villa?
No, but it was thought to be near-ish the sea. Again, this is part of like the difficulty with locating him. But anyway, so they captured him and took him to Ireland, where he was enslaved and held captive for 6 years, working as a shepherd. Which I find very odd that, like, why are Irish pirates recruiting shepherds? Like, or do they have dealings with farmers? And what's this like black market sheep labor that the Irish pirates are involved in? That's a whole story in itself, I think.
I mean, or did they so did the pirates have their own flocks of sheep, and then or are they selling?
And the shepherding involved, like, you know, helping the sheep to be more resistant to seasickness.
Yeah, they're trained sheep that are like attack sheep, and you just you see those Irish pirate ships, you know, and there's the eerie silence
instead of the Jolly Roger. They've just got a sheep up there.
But then they pull alongside, and there's that eerie silence before all the sheep just leap over the side. You load up your sheep cannons and you
oh my god,
fire them at the other ship.
So a lot of unanswered questions there.
Yeah, I mean, is it that they would like then sell them on to farmers who would then?
I guess so. Yeah.
Or plantation owners or whatever.
So but he was still meant to be in captivity.
Right.
So yeah, the farmers may not have been pirates, but they were certainly not ethical.
They still own slaves. They're not the best people. Let's just say slightly problematic.
Yeah, I mean, you've always got to be careful, you know, with your organic lamb. Yeah, the lamb may be free range, but you know, what about the people looking after it?
Was the shepherd free range?
Yeah, exactly. Patrick writes in the confession that the time he spent in captivity was critical to his spiritual development.
Okay.
He explains that the Lord had mercy on his youth and ignorance and afforded him the opportunity to be forgiven his sins and convert to Christianity.
Oh, okay.
So while in captivity, he strengthened his relationship with God through prayer, eventually leading him to convert. So, I mean, I guess if all you've got to talk to is sheep all day, maybe you'd start praying.
I mean, it does seem like a good time to start praying is when you've been kidnapped by pirates.
Yeah.
Forced to look after sheep.
Well, interesting you should say that, because it becomes irrelevant to the story in a minute. But he said... Relevant, obviously.
It seems I also like it seems weird that he like of all the jobs that could have been given as a slave, he was a shepherd.
Yeah.
It's like it feels a bit
Jesus-y job, isn't it?
Yeah, I was gonna say it feels a bit too like
on the nose.
On the nose. That's the word. Yeah, that's the term I'm looking for. Just like
a little too symbolic.
Yeah.
Well, like, it's interesting you should say that.
Okay.
Actually, well, I'll tell you in a minute because I'll show you part of the story and then you'll see
tell
why
me the story.
You're just getting ahead of it, and but you're too smart for this, is what I'm saying. Anyway, he said, "The love of God and his fear grew in me more and more, as did the faith, and my soul was rosed, so that in a single day I have said as many as 100 prayers, and in the night nearly the same." So, really paying attention to the shepherding.
Just really sounds desperate at this point.
I prayed in the woods and on the mountain, even before dawn. I felt no hurt from the snow or ice or rain. So clearly, praying is his jacket.
Right. This is a great lesson to people who are in poverty or homeless. Have you thought about prayer instead of like food and shelter?
Christ. That's what we're all going to have to rely on soon. I've said it before. I'll probably say it again.
All right.
So anyway, after 6 years of captivity, he heard a voice telling him that he would soon go home and that his ship was ready. Fleeing his master, he travelled to a port 200 miles away where he found a ship and with difficulty persuaded the captain to take him.
He's like, your ship is ready. It is 200 miles
really
away.
far away. Can you get there on foot? It's leaving tomorrow.
It doesn't sound like it's ready. It sounds like if my ship was ready, I feel like it would be at the nearby port, not 200 miles away.
Which surely, like, having been captured by pirates, like, again, you'd think he'd be near the coast.
Maybe. But also, like, 200 miles, it seems like, is there anywhere that's 200 miles in Ireland? It doesn't seem like that big a place. Anyway, whatever. Maybe he just got lost.
I don't think God thought that through.
But, so go ahead. So he gets on his ship, and then he convinces the captain. So he's got to talk his way onto the ship.
So it doesn't sound very ready at all.
Yeah.
So, well, maybe that's it. Maybe he didn't have a very good grasp of geography. So he went to the port 200 miles away, and that's why he had to persuade the captain. And there was a captain on a ship, 3 miles away that was like waiting for Patrick. Like, they told me he'd be here.
I got a message from an angel to wait for this guy Patrick.
Yeah, there's a real cock up in heaven.
Seems like they really should have figured out the logistics better. There's just like such poor communication in heaven. I think that's a lot of the moral of a lot of these stories is like if people could just communicate a little bit better.
There's no HR in heaven. That's the problem.
You can't spell heaven without HR. No, wait,
yes you can. Very good. So after 3 days sailing, they landed, presumably in Britain, and apparently all left the ship, walking for 28 days in a wilderness and becoming faint from hunger.
Wait, why did they all leave this ship? All the sailors?
Yeah, I think the implication is they wanted to come with Patrick and see what he was doing because he was saintly.
I guess. Or it's like, I got a villa.
Yeah,
He's pretty well off.
Yeah, that's a good point.
My dad collects all the taxes
and doesn't pass them on.
Maybe that's how he talked his way onto the ship.
Yeah.
He's like, actually, my parents are quite well off.
So that's why. So they didn't actually like him. They're just coming with him to get their payment for taking him there. Yeah,
there's no Christian charity here. It's just like, do you know who my father is?
Yeah. So after Patrick prayed for sustenance, they encountered a herd of wild boar. And since this was shortly after Patrick had urged them to put their faith in God, his prestige in the group increased greatly. So they prayed for food and encountered some living beings.
Okay, I was confused.
Oh yeah, so the wild boar were for food. They didn't attack
for food,
them.
not like it wasn't like a danger. Like he got rid of the wild boar. Okay,
they were probably very tame wild boar, or like asleep maybe.
Turns out they were quite ill, and sailors died from eating the meat.
Oh gosh, well maybe, but we don't hear about that. After various adventures, of which I can find no further detail.
Wait, why did they have a ship and they're professional sailers? Why did they land in like the wilderness? Why did they land at like a port and then?
Look, we don't know where Patrick was born. Maybe he didn't either. He's not the greatest at geography, it seems.
It's just my house. It was a big house. It was blue.
It was a villa.
It was near a tree. Do you guys know that place that's near a tree?
And within easy reach of pirates.
Yeah, it's somewhere on the coast. So let's just land on the coast, and then we'll just kind of walk around the whole place and see. Yeah. Eventually we'll find it.
Find some tasty pork. After some various adventures, he eventually returned home to his family, now in his early 20s. So, it took him a while to find them. After returning home to Britain, he continued to study Christianity. Mm-hmm. However, so this is what I didn't want to jump ahead to, but a recent alternative interpretation of Patrick's departure to Ireland suggests that as the son of a decurion. He would have been obliged by Roman law to serve on the town council, or curia, but instead chose to abscond from the onerous obligations of his office by fleeing abroad, as many others in his position had done in what became known as the flight of the curiales. So when you're like, oh, well, this is a bit convenient that he becomes a shepherd, historian Roy Fletchner also asserts the improbability of an escape from servitude and journey of the kind that Patrick purports to have undertaken. He draws attention to the biblical allusions in Patrick's own account, e.g. the theme of freedom after 6 years of servitude in Exodus, which implies that perhaps part of the account may not have been intended to be understood literally. So when you were like, oh, it's a bit too convenient, the symbolism of becoming a shepherd, it's also like if he was actually in captivity, like he wouldn't have been able to escape so easily.
Did it kind of glaze over just like one day, just like, you know what, I'm gonna go, guys.
Yeah, it's weird that God's like, I can get you out, but I'm gonna wait 6 years.
You gotta earn it, kid. So wait, so instead they're saying like he was supposed to serve on the town council. Yeah. And he was like,
it was so onerous that he would rather go to Ireland and tend sheep.
It's not like he's gonna be conscripted into the military. It's like he just has to serve on the town council. Like,
Listen, people fucking hate tax collectors.
That's probably, yeah, I guess it's true. I guess it's probably just, it's like just a lot of boring bureaucracy.
I'd rather be rolling in sheep shit than dealing with paperwork right now. It was like a classic teenage gap year, maybe.
Or 6 gap years. So it does sound like he took a bunch of money from the house. He just stole a bunch of money and he's like, I'm going to fuck off and live in Ireland. He lives in Ireland, probably not even a shepherd, probably just as a gadabout, just
Playboy,
like living. Yeah, playboy, just living in Ireland, you know, hanging out in the streets of Dublin, you know, going to clubs, drinking, having fun. You know, after 6 years, the money's running low. Maybe it's time to come back to the old villa. And it's like, oh my gosh, pirates. Oh, wow. I was a slave for 6 years. Oh, no.
Yeah, that's a very good point. So, after a few years of being at home again, Patrick had a vision.
Vision says I should take a bunch of money and go to France this time.
Oh my God, are you serious?
What?
How did you... That is actually what he did.
What?
He went to France.
See, I know this shit.
God.
Like, man, Saint Patrick is the...
Saints are really predictable now.
Oh man, no, this guy is a real piece of shit. He's just like he's a real scam artist. And anyway.
Oh no, French pirates now.
No.
Sacre bleu, les pirates.
So he goes to France.
Yeah, so he had a vision that says, take all your money and go to France. Now, for a while, he studied in France, principally at Auxerre, and he was ordained into the priesthood by Saint Germanus of Auxerre, who was the same famous bishop who inspired our very first subject, Saint Genevieve.
Oh, I was wondering why Auxerre sounded familiar.
Yeah, it's a crossover episode. So if you're new to this podcast, you can go back and listen to that one. It's probably bad because it was from, a long time ago. Yeah, because by the time you get to that, you'll love us, so you won't. Yeah. You'll forgive us, but
you'll be forgiving. You'll be like, wow, they got way better.
Yeah, so that's a fun little overlap. And he visited other places in France, including Marmoutier Abbey and Lérine Abbey, which I think that was where he got tonsured, you know, the bad monk haircut.
You get the bad, yeah.
But yeah, so then after that, he acted on his vision and returned to Ireland as a Christian missionary. According to some scholars, his landing place was Wicklow in County Wicklow, at the mouth of the River Inverday. Some even suggest that Wicklow
is north of Dublin, right?
Okay.
I've been to the Wicklow Mountains. I've been biking up on those mountains. I went to the highest pub in Ireland.
Oh, very nice.
Was it good? Mountains. I just got a Guinness there. It's probably gotten that anywhere.
Does the altitude change the flavour, or?
No, I don't know.
It's not that high.
Yeah. No, the difference between the highest pub in Ireland and the lowest pub in Ireland is not substantial.
So it's not that much of a prestige marker.
No.
Anyway, so some even suggest that Wicklow was also the port that he escaped through when he made his escape after 6 years in captivity, although the evidence for this is a bit thin. So it's probably more like hype up the symbolism.
That's just the Wicklow Board of Tourism, like landing place and escape point for St. Patrick.
The thing is, I feel like there are so many places in Ireland. It could be like, Patrick was here.
Yeah.
Anyway, tradition has it that he was not welcomed by the locals and was forced to leave and seek a more welcoming landing place further north.
It doesn't really speak well to the people of Wicklow, though. Then why are they?
Yeah, that's why they don't like to mention it in their tourist board. Anyone welcome, as long as your name isn't Patrick.
Everybody's welcome, as long as you don't try and push your stupid religion on us. We've got all the religion we need, thank you.
Yeah, he rested for some days at the islands off the Skerries coast.
Ooh, it's a spooky coast. It's a scary coast. It's a coast of skeletons.
They were the only people willing to listen to his Bible chat. One of these islands retains the name of Patrick. There are several legends about what happened next, with the most prominent claiming that he met the chief of one of the Druid tribes who tried to kill him. Fair enough. I mean, you know, if we didn't have such a stringent rule of law, understandable reaction to annoying Bible bashers, right?
Sure, yeah. I mean, like, they've got conflicting goals here. Because he's like, I'm trying to keep this Druid thing going, and you're in here with this, you know,
Jesus-y thing.
This whole new fad of...
with your book learning. So, after an intervention from God, Patrick was able to convert the chief and preach the gospel throughout Ireland.
What was the intervention? It's just like, I don't know, he got hit by lightning, and then,
yeah.
I mean, maybe it's like he's trying to convert the chief, and he gets hit by lightning, and then you're just like, who else wants a bit of the wrath of God? No? Then I guess you better line up and get baptized.
Yeah, maybe there was a fight, and the chieftain hit his head, and then was suddenly like, oh yeah, this gospel makes sense.
It's like, well, he won in a fight, so I guess his religion's real.
You've bested me. So yeah, he went on to preach the gospel throughout Ireland and converted many people, eventually thousands, and began building churches across the country. Much of the confession concerns charges made against him by his fellow Christians at a trial. What these charges were, he doesn't explicitly say. KG.
Yeah, they made a lot of unfounded accusations. We don't need to go into what those were. I don't think that's the important thing. The important thing is that I was totally innocent of everything.
Yeah, of anything and everything.
Everything. Just don't even worry about it. Not much of a confession if you don't actually say what you did wrong.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's just maybe he called it a confession because he was marketing himself and he wanted, like, it was like,
right,
it's a tell-all, and then actually he doesn't tell very much.
Yeah. Very vague tell-all. Tell some.
So he writes that he returned the gifts which wealthy women gave him.
Okay, wait.
Did not accept payment for baptism or for ordaining priests, and indeed paid for many gifts to kings and judges, and paid for the sons of the chiefs to accompany him. So he's like, yeah, no, I gave back all the money they gave me for doing these things that I shouldn't have been paid for in the first place, like baptisms.
Right.
What a guy.
Yeah. He got all this money from rich ladies. Is like, so is he just being like a bit of a gigolo here?
Well,
I feel like we can kind of feel the content of the trial here, which is that St. Patrick was walking around with like a lot of gold chains and rings and, you know, fancy things. And
this is what Jesus wants.
It's just like, and they're like, hey man, I feel like you're not getting what we're supposed to be doing here. And
well, yeah, historians have concluded that he was accused of some kind of financial impropriety.
You don't say.
And maybe of having obtained his bishopric in Ireland with personal gain in mind.
Wow, this is a story of St. Patrick I was not expecting.
Well, that's the fact.
St. Patrick, the 5th century's greatest grifter.
Yeah. I mean, it's worked. We're still celebrating him today.
I know, right? Yeah. Celebrate St. Patrick's Day the traditional way by bilking a rich lady out of her money.
Yeah, start your own pyramid scheme.
Exactly.
Oh, maybe that's what we should do. Yeah, if you invest in our Patreon now, you can become, I don't know, a top tier Patreon earner through us. Just give us £100 now. Ask questions later.
We'll tell you how to start your own Patreon, and then you can get money from that. You just give us a small percentage of that, and so
exactly.
So this guy, he's going from town to town, bilking people out of money, and converting them, quote unquote.
Mm-hmm. Maybe he went with like, Jesus says it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of a needle than for a rich man to enter the kingdom of God. So give me all your money, and then you can enter the kingdom of God, and then I'll enjoy it, and then maybe I'll give it away later.
It's like, I'm going to do this. I'm going to put this towards good things. And by good things, I mean good clothes and good food. Am I right?
Eventually, he settled in the west of Ireland, where he became a bishop and ordained subordinate clerics. So again, pyramid
at a
scheme.
reasonable fee.
Yeah, for learning materials and heating the convent.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is my time worthless to you? Is that what you think? That my time just has no value? Oh, okay.
Sorry,
okay.
You think eternal life should be free? Okay.
Wow. Okay. Well, so you think that God should just be really excited that you're on the team? No, you got to pay in to get.
He writes that he baptized thousands of people and ordained priests to lead the new Christian communities. He converted wealthy women, some of whom became nuns in the face of family opposition. No shit. So this guy's just convinced me to give up all my money and go and be in his cult.
Yeah, exactly. This is like, honey, you're in a cult. This is a cult here. He's asking you to give all your money and then become one of his brides? No, that's not cool.
Oh, dear.
Yeah.
He also dealt with the sons of kings, converting them as well. Interesting that he's only targeting wealthy people.
Yeah. It's a lot of peasants were like, can we become Christians? Oh, I don't know. It's a bit of a commitment that I don't think you can quite make.
Maybe they did the Scientology way of like, you can, but you got to, what was it?
It was like the billion-year contract. Yeah.
Yeah.
You have to sign a billion-year contract with Saint Patrick.
So yeah, if you want to hear more about Scientology, you should also subscribe to our Patreon.
You can learn about their founding mythological figure, Xenu.
Exactly. The confession is generally vague about the details of his work in Ireland. I definitely did a lot of work. People said bad things. They weren't true, but lots of good things happened.
This is like the mafia. It's like, what do you do? I'm an importer-exporter. Like that. He's got this front of running monasteries and things, but that's not the real business, is it?
The only thing that's cleansed here is your accounts.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Not your souls. So this is partly because, as he says at points, he was writing for a local audience of Christians who knew him and his work. So all his anecdotes are basically like, and you guys know the rest.
Also, I love this. Is like, people outside, they don't understand, but we get it.
You had to be there.
You had to be there. It's like, we get it. So it's like, it seems like it's a scam. I can see how, from the outside, you would think that this is a scam and I'm just stealing these people's money and giving them nothing in return. But if you lived in the area, if you knew me, you know I was really doing a lot of good stuff, you know?
Yeah. For sure. His position as a foreigner in Ireland was not an easy one. His refusal to accept gifts from kings placed him outside the normal ties of kinship, fosterage, and affinity. And legally, he was without protection, and says on one occasion that he was beaten, robbed of all he had, and put in chains, perhaps awaiting execution.
Oh, no.
So I guess he did lose it all in the end,
well,
which I'm not saying is for the best.
Like all he had on him, or like, or maybe, I guess it could be like a king, like had him arrested.
He got sanctioned.
Yeah, exactly. He is very much an Irish oligarch of the 5th century. Or not an English
that's the
oligarch.
impression I'm getting. He also says many years later he was held captive for 60 days, but doesn't give any further details.
Look, I don't want to go into it. It was just a tough time. Let's just move on.
Yeah, fair enough.
What happened to this guy? I said, let's move on.
So there was a supposed prophecy by the Druids, which gives an impression of how Patrick was viewed by those hostile to him.
Okay.
They said, across the sea will come Adzi head, crazed in the head, his cloak with a hole for the head, his stick bent in the head.
Wait, his cloak with a hole in the head? Hole for the head? Like, how else would you...
Like his cloak with a hole for the head, so it's like a poncho, I guess.
Yeah, well, like, how else would you put the cloak?
It's wrap around.
Yeah, I guess you wrap it around, but still.
He will chant impieties from a table in the front of his house. All his people will answer, so be it, so be it. So that's what the Druids thought of him.
So this was a prophecy from before he got there?
Yes. I think it might have been like retrospectively they had this prophecy and they were like, it's him!
The sign's important. Like
yeah. Legend credits Patrick with teaching the Irish about the doctrine of the Holy Trinity by showing them a shamrock, the three-leafed plant, using it to illustrate the Christian teaching of three persons in one God. So I guess the reason this comes up here is like he was trying to speak to them in their own symbolic language.
Right. Well, how does he explain four-leaf clovers?
Oh, that's a whole nother thing. But do four-leaf clovers, they're very rare, aren't they?
They're very rare, but still, it was like, well, how do four-leaf clovers work into God's plan? And so,
Shut up!
Shut up. How about shut up? How about that?
Well, there's the Father, the Son, and the Holy Ghost, and then the fourth one's me.
So, yeah. So he was just like, this plant, it's got three leaves, but it's one plant. Mm-hmm. It's basically that.
So it's just like the Trinity. Solved it.
Yeah, I don't know. Is this metaphor, like, is it simple in like a genius way and then it like conveys a lot of information? or is it just like simple, like the people of Ireland are bone dumb and they were like, they didn't get it except for like, I don't know, like, that plant that's everywhere? It's like that.
To be fair, the concept of the Trinity doesn't make sense.
Right.
So, like, it is hard to explain because it's dumb. But also, Jesus used parables. So,
yeah.
I guess it's like drawing parallel with the parables there.
Oh, parapebble. Okay.
Yeah, but the earliest written version of the story of him using shamrocks is given by a botanist called Caleb Threlkeld in his 1726 synopsis Stirpium hibernicarum, so i.e. a very long time after Patrick was actually alive. But in the 1680s, there was a coin minted depicting Patrick clutching a shamrock, which is fun. I didn't know they had commemorative coins before, like, the last century.
The scam has continued long after his death.
Yeah.
So wait, so this botanist in the 17th century?
18th century.
18th century.
I guess he was just talking about clovers, shamrocks, and gave a sort of throwaway comment because maybe it was like well known at the time.
It was, yeah.
And so he didn't go too much into it.
It's well known in Irish folklore, like colloquial, that this is something that St. Patrick did, but nobody wrote it down before.
Yeah, apparently not.
Yeah.
But in pagan Ireland, 3 was a significant number, and the Irish had many triple deities that might have helped with his evangelization efforts when he held up the shamrock.
Oh.
Although it's questionable whether the shamrock itself was actually seen as a holy symbol among the pagan religions there. Oh. So it's a bit of backstory to why you see shamrocks on St. Patrick's Day.
Right.
But it's like a lot of things with his life, it's quite shady.
Okay. But the Irish were primed for this because they already had triple gods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So they got it. They got it.
Another bit of crossover that you might enjoy. In the 12th century, there is a work called A Calam na Senorach, I'm definitely pronouncing that wrong, which tells of Patrick being met by 2 ancient warriors, Cailt MacRonain and Oisin, during his evangelical travels. And the 2 were once members of Finn McCool's warrior band.
Yeah. Isn't Oisin his son?
Yes.
I think Oisin was the son of Finn McCool because he's like the poet who wrote all the yes. What's called the Finnian cycle or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So
basically, there's a legend attributed to Patrick that somehow he met these people from way longer ago.
Yeah.
And somehow they survived to Patrick's time.
They were mythical creatures.
Yeah.
People. Mythical figures.
Yeah. But anyway, so yeah, I thought you'd enjoy that because obviously Finn McCool was someone that we looked at in the Patreon as well.
Yeah.
So in the tale, Patrick seeks to convert the warriors to Christianity while they defend their pagan past. The heroic pagan lifestyle of the warriors of fighting and feasting and living close to nature is contrasted with the more peaceful but unheroic and non-sensual life offered by Christianity, which is like, but this is fun too, sure.
It's like, sure, you love feasting, fighting, and fucking, but what if I told you...
What about praying, paying, and...
penance, yeah. About praying, paying, penance. But what if I told you there was you could sit
Ps.
quietly in a room and also not eat a lot?
And feel terrible about yourself.
Yeah, also you'll feel guilty about everything you've done or ever will do. How does that sound, huh? Am I selling you on it? You want to put down your big leg of mutton to talk about this more?
Oh dear. But yeah, the tale is basically just that he met them. Doesn't say whether they converted or anything.
They were like, thanks, no thanks.
Well, you know, if they'd lived hundreds of years with their own lifestyle, then why would they want any of that?
It's like, hey, you know what? It's starting to look like we're immortal, so we're not really worried about the life to come.
Yeah, we don't need to pay you our 100, I was going to say euros.
100 euros.
100 gold coins to convert because, we've already got that down.
No, they're already like on the ground floor of the euro. They're like, look, we're immortal and we know where this is going, so we're getting into the euros now. All we have is euros because those are going to be big in about 400 years.
2,000 years. 1,600 years, yeah. So in total, he preached and converted round Ireland for 40 years, working many miracles and writing of his love for God. After years of living in poverty, travelling and enduring much suffering, he died.
Was he living in poverty?
Well, after he got mugged, I guess.
That's that one time he gets mugged, then he's like, never again.
Well, that's the thing. They can't nick stuff off you if you don't have any stuff. So, he supposedly died on the 17th of March, 461, although again, could be any time.
But definitely the 17th of March.
Yeah, exactly. As we know, it's always very specific on the day. He died at a place called Saul, which was where he had built his first Irish church, and is believed to be buried in Down Cathedral in Downpatrick. His grave was marked in 1990 with a granite stone, and his corpse became the object of a conflict in the battle for the body of St. Patrick. But unfortunately, I can't find any more information about the battle, but there was one, so that's exciting.
Sounds like WrestleMania. It's the battle for the body of St. Patrick. It's a steel cage ladder match.
So yeah, that's his life.
So
You
wait,
seem
so
underwhelmed.
so the battle for the body. Do we know? Does he have relics? Like, do we?
Yes. So in the National Museum of Ireland in Dublin, there is a bell, the Bell of St Patrick, which is first mentioned in the Book of Juan Yu in the year 552. The bell was part of a collection of relics of Patrick removed from his tomb 60 years after his death by Saint Columba to be used as relics.
Just like, he doesn't need these anymore.
So respect for the dead, just pillage the grave.
Saint Columba's running his own scam. He's like, I gotta get some of these.
Well, of course,
little grave robbing.
But we'll save Saint Columba.
It's what Patrick would have wanted.
For sure. It chimes with his ethic. Yeah. We'll learn more about Saint Columba in our Dublin live show that's apparently happening now. The bell is described as the Bell of the Testament, one of 3 relics of precious minna, i.e. extremely valuable items, of which the other 2 are described as Patrick's goblet and his gospel. Columba is described to have been under the direction of an angel for whom he sent the goblet to Down and the bell to Armour and kept possession of the gospel for himself.
Okay.
So, yeah.
The angel told him to sell the bell to Down for a very reasonable price.
Yeah, so that's Columba's grift. Yeah, those are the main sort of aspects of the relic.
But his whole body's still in the same spot, as far as we know?
Supposedly, but probably actually not.
Okay, yeah. I mean, if you're in there and you're grabbing the bell and the testament and the goblet, you're probably grabbing a skull or
bones.
Like a femur or two, At least get some fingers. The fingers probably already is still holding onto the goblet, so you accidentally get some fingers with that. Wait, can I go back to one thing? Like, isn't he meant to have forced out a bunch of snakes from Ireland? Is this an after-death miracle?
No, I can't remember why I didn't include it in the end.
Kind of a big thing that we were all...
Yeah. Well, the thing is...
You think it didn't happen?
Well, I think it didn't happen. Most people think it didn't happen. The absence of snakes in Ireland has been noted from as early as the 3rd century, but later attributed to a banishment by Patrick. However, all evidence suggests that there have never been snakes in Ireland since, I think, the time of the Ice Age, basically, when it was covered in glaciers. Basically,
It's so miraculous he did it before he was born. That's pretty impressive when you think about it.
Pre-birth miracles, yeah.
It's even more impressive if you don't think about it.
According to the naturalist Nigel Monaghan, who is the keeper of natural history at the National Museum of Ireland.
That sounds like a great job. I am the keeper of history. Hope he has a scepter.
So this naturalist has searched extensively through fossil collections and records and says that there was definitely nothing for Patrick to banish. So, yeah.
But in keeping with his scam, he probably showed up and was like, huh? Have you noticed how there aren't any snakes around anymore?
And everyone's like, what's a snake?
That was me.
It's like a worm, but it bites and it's poisonous.
It's like a bitey worm, yeah.
And if you give me $50, I'll ensure they never come to your house.
Also, I'm keeping away tigers. So.
No one's seen any kangaroos here?
No alligators here.
Real menace.
Hey, you can thank old Sandy P for that one. Okay, so he never got rid of snakes. Well, this is a real shock.
I'm afraid. Yes.
Did they give a reason for him, like, driving out the snakes? Just because people were just like, they're icky?
I guess so. Well, snakes have, obviously associated with the devil, right?
Right.
And, they're generally thought to be sneaky, treacherous animals. So, are there any other, dangerous animals in Ireland?
Just the Irish. Hey!
I think you should definitely cut that out, given that we may get people coming here because it's St. Patrick's Day and they want to learn about St. Patrick. And, we might get 3% of our audience next week might be Irish and you've just ruined it. No,
man is the most dangerous animal of all.
That's true.
Is my feeling. So, it's not just the Irish, it's everybody.
Good save.
Yeah. Do they have beavers in Ireland? I guess beavers aren't dangerous either. They must have bears in Ireland, though, right?
Gonna Google this?
You gonna Google Irish bears? Turn that safe search on.
Oh, they used to be common in Ireland, but they died out in the first millennium before Christ. So Patrick drove them out too, I guess.
Okay.
Another legend that didn't happen. Do you want to hear about that one?
Oh, good. Let's hear about all the miracles.
Well, I mean, there's less disputing of this in the account that I have, but fairly sure it didn't happen anyway. So during his journey back to Ireland from his parents' home, Patrick is understood to have carried with him an ash wood walking stick or staff. He thrust the stick into the ground wherever he was evangelizing, and at the place now known as Patria, Ash of Patrick, the message of the dogma took so long to get through to the people that the stick had taken root by the time he was ready to move on. i.e. his walking stick turns into a living tree. But yeah, I think that's that's not a tale he wants to be widely known, because it suggests he wasn't very good at converting people.
just really speaks poorly to the people of Ashpatria. He's just like, okay, all right, let's do this one more time. Okay, so there's a shamrock. Look, here's the shamrock. Okay, look, maybe if I do this, there's a shamrock. Okay, 3 leaves and there's one God. So God's a shamrock. No. God is not this. Oh my God. Okay. All right. It has been weeks. Why can't you people get this? God lives in the sky. And he's 3 guys. But he's just in the grass. He's everywhere. Okay. So God is everywhere. So am I God? No, not really, but kind of. Yeah. It's complicated. Oh, look at we've been here so long, my walking stick is now
a tree. A living tree.
It's like he spent 40 years proselytizing around Ireland. 35 of those were just in Ashpatria.
Yeah.
It's like that town took a while to get it.
Yeah.
It's called the dumbest town in Ireland.
Wow. I hope none of our listeners are from there.
Yeah.
But again, stupid concept, so what's to get, really?
Yeah.
And I studied it for a while, and I'm saying that, Maybe I'm originally from there, who knows?
Yeah. Are there any any other miracles? Any other after death miracles?
Not that I have. Probably. There's probably loads, but
not really.
None are canon. Yeah.
None are worth mentioning.
Well, because he was made a saint before the official processes for becoming a saint were established.
Right.
The Catholic Church didn't have to find evidence of miracles.
All they found evidence of was more financial crimes.
Yeah, they started an investigation and they just abandoned it because it was just very embarrassing for the whole church.
Wait, it was the 5th century. How did he have an account in the Cayman Islands?
Oh my gosh. So, patronages. I know you know one, at least.
Is he the patron saint of con men?
Not officially.
Is he the patron saint of secret gap years? Like faking your own kidnapping?
Responsibility and becoming a grifter, yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
Embezzlement.
This is just our very ungenerous
any number of
interpretation, I suppose.
Is he the patron saint of getting lost in the woods?
He's the patron saint of people with a fear of snakes. So, if you're lost in the woods and you're worried you're going to get bitten by a snake while you're there, maybe?
I guess that makes sense. Just his advice is I don't know, you want to go to Ireland? I already cleared that place out.
Yeah, that's how you overcome your fear. Surely you overcome your fear by meeting some snakes.
Yeah, like New Zealand doesn't have snakes. Or it didn't. I think it has snakes now because they're an invasive species, but they didn't used to have snakes, I don't think. That's why, because everything on New Zealand was a bird for a long time.
Okay.
Is he the patron saint of, I don't know, shirking your responsibilities?
Well, he's the patron saint of hairdressers, so you tell me.
What is that? What? No. What does that have to do with anything? Are you saying that hairdressers as a group are irresponsible?
Yeah. I mean, depending on who you look at, some of them are, you could say. The hairdresser who invented the mullet, very irresponsible.
Fair. You think that was an intentional act of creation, not an accidental hairstyle?
Either way, it was, the fault of the hairdressers. He's also the patron saint of barbers, which I think is ironic given that he got tonsured, as we've established. That's a bad haircut.
I think any monk saint you'd look at and be like, you shouldn't be in charge of barbers.
Yeah, only nuns should be the patron saints of barbers.
It seems like, all his advice would be like, have you tried shaving around the sides in a big circle and then putting a bald spot in the middle?
It's a great look.
That's all the guidance he has.
Yeah.
It's classic. Can I tell you something? It is a look that has lasted for over 2,000 years. So you know what?
Yeah.
Don't tell me it's out of style.
Fair play.
What are his patronages?
So
was he the patron saint of Ireland?
He is. Well done. Good job.
All right. What are his patronages then?
Against fear of snakes, against snakes, and against snake bite.
Okay.
Very specific.
So it seems like if you're afraid of snakes, the things you're afraid of are the snakes or the bites.
If you subscribe to Patrick, $100 he'll get you against snake bite. $200 snake bites and snake, he'll protect you. $300 he'll cure your fear of snakes.
He'll erase the concept of snakes from your brain altogether.
Exactly. So that's why it's got to be all three.
These are reasonable prices.
Yeah. Barrel makers and coopers. I don't know why. Maybe that was the biggest grift of the time, was making barrels.
Why is it barrel makers and coopers? Aren't coopers barrel makers?
I thought coops were just the hoops that the barrels are molded around, but I don't know.
Maybe.
Also blacksmith and engineers and miners.
Okay.
Excluded people because
excluded.
He was, as a wealthy Roman, he was a real outsider.
Yeah, if you're outside of a clique, just kind of pray to St. Patrick to get.
That was a good Freudian slip there. You said pay to St. Patrick.
Yeah, I'll pay or pray. Whatever. You gotta pay to pray with St. Patrick. They were the same thing to St. Patrick.
Exactly. Pay to pray.
Listen, you could waste a lot of time praying to me and hoping I'll give you a miracle,
or
we can just
fast track fee.
Yeah, exactly. Get same-day results on the Miracle if you pay a small fee.
Express delivery. There's an extra charge. So as well as Ireland, he is also the patron saint of Nigeria,
Ooh.
of Auckland in New Zealand.
Also a place with no snakes.
Adelaide in Australia. Fairly sure there are snakes there, though.
There's almost certainly snakes. I think the governor is a snake.
Wow. Boston, Massachusetts.
That checks out.
Cape Town.
Somehow that also checks out.
El Paso, Texas. Melbourne, Australia. And New York as well.
Huh.
Lots of places, basically. So, yeah. So that's it.
2 countries, a bunch of cities.
And people who hate one kind of animal.
People who are just like, fuck snakes. Their place in the ecosystem is not as important as their place in our theology. So.
Quite, yeah. So yeah,
indeed.
that's what I got.
So Anna, do you think that there would be a point where you would have St. Patrick intervene for you?
Well, you know, as someone who, like so many of us, is faced with the cost of living crisis and, you know, all our budgets being squeezed at the moment and that kind of thing, maybe starting a grift is a good plan. We should turn to him for that wisdom. He was definitely very wise on that.
Yeah.
Also, you know, when you accidentally evade all your responsibilities and go traveling, that's always an option, you know?
Yeah, I do think that, you know, when I abandon my family because the pressures of fatherhood are too much, but then I feel bad about it after about 6 years. It'd be good to have St. Patrick on my side to back up my pirate story. Like, honey, I was kidnapped by pirates.
Yeah. So how did you escape? Prayer?
I didn't want to hide out in Ireland. That's not me. You know me. I'm a guy who just is easily duped by pirates.
But in all other ways, very responsible.
Yeah. Or, you know, if I was in the middle of some kind of scam, you know, it seems like he's good.
Well, he's good depending on which end of the scam you're on.
Yeah, well, if I'm running the scam.
Yeah, right. Which you're saying it's more likely. Because I feel like as an adult over a certain age, you're more likely to be the victim of a scam.
That's hurtful.
I mean, I almost convinced you to buy 10,000 lottery tickets the other day.
But that's not a scam. That's money in the bank. I'm losing money if I don't buy 10,000 lottery tickets.
Yeah, and all you have to do is pay me a consultancy fee of a further £2,000.
Well, I have that kind of money now that I've bought 10,000 lottery tickets. Wait, so St. Patrick's Day, big holiday in the U.S. at least.
Yeah, and Ireland, unsurprisingly.
Is it big in Ireland? I don't know. Like, it could be. I wondered about that.
Yes, it's a big deal in Ireland.
Is it a big deal in Ireland? Okay, I don't know. What do I know?
Also, apparently, I've just found a different list. Apparently, he's also a patron saint of paralegals.
Oh, that makes no sense.
What?
Just paralegals, but not lawyers.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that's St. Mark, right?
St. Patrick's Day is huge. Celebrated in Malta, Norway, Russia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Scotland, Switzerland, Lithuania, Japan, Korea and Malaysia, and Montserrat in the Caribbean. And it is also celebrated on the International Space Station.
That sounds like a terrible place to celebrate St. Patrick's
Yes,
Day.
an Irish American named Catherine Coleman played a 100-year-old flute belonging to Matt Malloy and a tin whistle belonging to Paddy Maloney, both members of the Irish music group The Chieftains, while floating weightless in the space station on St. Patrick's Day in 2011. And her performance
That has got to be the most annoying space station. Hey, can you shut up with the tin whistle? Yeah, we are in a small tube in space. The last thing I want is you to play a fucking tin whistle.
Yeah, her performance was later included in a track called The Chieftains in Orbit on the group's 2012 album, Voice of Ages. I'm not sure. Oh, on St. Patrick's Day 2 years later, in 2013, Chris Hadfield, a Canadian astronaut, took photographs of Ireland from Earth orbit and a picture of himself wearing green clothing in the space station, and also posted a recording of himself singing Danny Boy in space.
Ugh,
so, yeah.
I mean, the picture was nice, and then it started going downhill.
Don't add music. So, celebrated in... I'm glad you asked, because it's celebrated in lots of places, including space.
But not in England.
Well, I mean, it is in the way that anything's celebrated in England, you know?
Right. I feel like the thing about St. Patrick's Day is it feels offensive. Like,
what?
Because it feels like...
Oh, because people dress up as, like, leprechauns and stuff.
Well, that's part of it, yeah. But, like, I don't know, because it's so associated with drinking, at least in the United States. I don't know how it's celebrated in, say, Finland or Korea, or Norway.
Well,
and Korea. Was it Norway?
I can tell you. Well, Matt, you've got to learn they're not the same place, okay?
God damn it! I really am losing all the credit for that apology.
To be fair, Norway has only had a St. Patrick's Day parade in Oslo since 2000. It was first organised by Irish expats living in Norway, and partly coordinated by the Irish embassy in Oslo.
Oh, okay. But like, it seems like it's very focused on drinking in America. I don't know if that's the case everywhere, but in America it feels like offensive to the Irish because it feels like the Irish are being unfairly maligned as a country of drunkards, which is not true. The Irish don't drink more.
It doesn't mention Patrick drinking in this tale at all.
That's also true. Good point.
But then Donald Trump doesn't drink, does he? So you can still be a very bad person and grifter without alcohol being involved.
In fact, it makes me wonder
if the two are linked.
Yeah, maybe the key to not being evil is having a little drink every once in a while. It really evens you out.
Wow.
But yeah, no, I just feel like it's just not fair to the Irish people to like that there is this holiday that celebrates quote unquote Irish culture, but involves mostly drinking.
Yeah, but I mean that's every holiday as celebrated in England. Like, I mean, on Christmas people get rat-arsed. Like, that's just, it's St. George's Day. I'm fairly sure it's the same. Just people just love an excuse for a party.
Okay, well, I don't know. I just feel like you don't have to drag the good name of the Irish people into this.
I agree.
Because I've been to Ireland a couple times. It's a beautiful country. The people there were always super nice to me.
You were just very much maligning one of their primary cultural contributions or musical contributions.
The chieftains. Look, I'm not into. I'm not gonna lie to you. The Irish music, fine without.
Wow.
But what? Okay, defend you two to me now.
Oh God. Listen, I love the Pogues. Okay.
Well, I like that one Pogue song.
There are many good Pogue songs.
I don't know. I really haven't gotten it. But,
you should listen to all of them. Anyway, in England, the British royals traditionally present bowls of shamrock to members of the Irish Guards, a regiment in the British Army.
What a useless fucking gift.
So, you can have drinking or you can have, fucking royalism.
Here's a bowl of weeds, you assholes.
Oh, dear.
Is the Irish Guard a guard made up of Irish people, or is it a guard from the Irish? I can see that going either way with
against.
Yeah. Thank you for keeping those dirty Irish in their place, boys. Thanks.
I don't really know very much about the history of Britain in Ireland. I understand it's not good.
You should look into that. It's pretty bad.
Yeah, I think they are made up of Irish people, but it's probably kind of a...
I mean, there are plenty of Northern Irish people who love the royal family, who are very, and they're as Irish as anybody, but also British.
As I said, I'm not very au fait with the history and politics. So.
See, much like the Shamrock, the people of Northern Ireland are three things. They are Irish, Northern Irish, and British.
Very good, very good. Good.
See, you can use the Shamrock for all kinds of things.
For Patrick, though, it could be known as a scamrock.
Yeah. No, I'm telling you, next time you guys need to try to make a difficult point, just use the Shamrock. You can be like, look, this leaf is me, and this leaf is you, and this leaf is your friend Deborah, and this is why we should have a threesome.
Wow. Okay.
Shamrock.
On that note, I think we should end it.
All right. So, thank you, Anna, for bringing me the tale of, once again, a British person going to Ireland and stealing whatever they can.
Wow. You are so welcome.
It's been a fun time. I hope people enjoy it, and everybody has a happy St. Patrick's Day. However you celebrate it, remember that the Irish are not a stereotype. They are a beautiful people, full of culture, and they're very nice and general. I guess as nice as any. There's probably, I'm not going to say there's not some assholes out there in Ireland. It's not true.
What Matt's trying to say is Irish people are people too.
Yeah,
what a hero you are.
I'm saying my definitive power rankings are now Finland and then Ireland.
Right, yeah.
Somewhere in there. I don't know. That's not definitive. I'll have to figure out my rankings of countries.
It's definitely subject to change.
Yeah.
For now.
Depending on how the download numbers for this episode go.
What Matthew's saying is he can be bought, and
so true.
Please do rate, review, and subscribe.
Anyway, thanks again, Anna.
Well, you're welcome, Matthew. Have a blessed day. Bye.
You too. Bye.